Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You got Jason the Overwhelmed Gamer here with another homebrew overview. And this week we are looking at Bloodshed, the Five Clans of Tresibra, which is a brand new NES game that's being brought to us by Guardian Games Studio. They were kind enough to send me over the demo, and I got my hands on it for, about an hour or so, and wanted to talk about it. Let's go. If you're unfamiliar with Guardian Game Studio, I definitely recommend that you check them out. They just put out a Game Boy game as well called Winsley's Guardian, which is one that I highly recommend. Bloodshed is a typical Legend of Zelda type game, but there's some really cool features that sets it apart. One of the really cool things is it's based off of a novel written by Spencer Walters, which is a fantasy novel published in 2023. You travel the lands of Tresibra as one of the 5 clan warriors, which is one of the cool things I like about this is you can actually choose from 5 different characters and each one lends its own kind of play style. And you clash with the Gamosis army, the Crown Gal, and the various beasts that inhabit the lands. Through playing the demo, the game didn't seem to be overly difficult, and by reading some of the synopsis, it's not meant to be NES hard, but there are definitely challenges when it comes to some of the fights. Looking at the different characters that you can select, you have your choice between Soren, who holds a spear, Keth, who's an axe warrior, Droot, who slings a slingshot, kind of like an Ewok, and Zane, who is who I chose, and he is a bow and arrow warrior. I chose Zane because, given a choice, I always choose an archer for any of these adventure games. From what I've been able to play so far, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a ton of dialogue with the NPCs, as of yet anyway. And you can find items throughout the land or find shops where you can buy food to replenish your health or cure poison, your typical fantasy stuff. The game's visual style is pretty simplistic, even for an NES title. However, I don't think it detracts from the game at all. You can totally see what you're doing, you understand the lay of the land and what's in front of you, what you have to attack, what you can get away from, things like that. The graphics do its job. The music is really well done. It's done by Jordan Davis of Raft Labs. It does a really good job of adding to the experience and really kind of fits the atmosphere. The gameplay mechanics are really straightforward, and I super appreciate that. Depending on the character that you select, you either have a melee weapon or a projectile weapon, and also your items are super easy to go through. You just hit your select button and it puts it in a little slot, so when you hit B, it selects it, whether you're curing yourself from poison or you need an extra quick bit of health. It makes it super easy. They also add these little tidbits that really kind of enhance your experience. There's one part where you get on a raft, but you don't just go across the lake. You have whirlpools that shoot up and you have to kind of dodge them to get across to the other side. It's really simple, unique stuff like that that I really appreciate in this. Also, I ran into a part where inside of a dungeon, you run into a trap where fire starts chasing you and you think you escape one and then you get to the next room and it's still chasing you. So you have to quickly get around and onto the next area of the scene before the fire gets up to you, which was really intense and took me a few times to get through. The thing I liked most about Bloodshed was it was so simple to just get into and play. You kind of knew exactly what you were doing as soon as you picked up the controller and didn't need a whole lot of explanation and nothing too complex. It was just easy to get into, and it was fun the entire time I was playing it. I really like the idea of selecting through the different characters. It's like you can almost just pick your own play style, which I really appreciate. So far, I think this one's shaping up to be a really fun new NES game. So far in the demo, I don't think there's anything overly innovative, but it doesn't have to be. It's straightforward, and it's just plain fun. Personally, I can't wait to get my hands on the full copy of this game. I think anyone who's an NES fan or a Legend of Zelda fan I think you're going to really like this one, and it would definitely be a great addition to anybody's collection. If you're interested in Bloodshed, check out the description. I'll have all their information, how you can get in contact with them and purchase a copy of this game for yourself. I want to know in the comments too what your experience is with homebrew games, or if you're into them and why or why not. And if you're not, you should be. But that's it for this one. Thanks so much for checking it out. And if you haven't already, please think about subscribing, liking all the YouTube stuff. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Late.